Forest fire season quickly makes its way into northwestern Ontario. Good evening and thank you for joining us. In recent rise of forest fires and with drier weather in Thunder Bay, there have been areas that have been prompted with numerous rural municipalities declaring a fire ban. However, the city of Thunder Bay itself is still allowing fires, and the MNR has not yet declared a restricted fire zone. Meanwhile, the MNR has issued an air quality advisory in Kenora as a large wildfire continues to grow. Jessica Clement has the details.
The municipalities of Nebeng and Gillies declared fire bans in their respective areas on Thursday, and that was followed by similar announcements in Oliver Papoonge and Conmee on Friday. This comes after numerous fires have popped up over the last few weeks, including one in Gillies on Wednesday. No burning will be allowed until the threat of fire has subsided and the ban is lifted. The city of Thunder Bay has not declared a fire ban, and MNR Fire Information Officer Chris Marchand says there are currently no restricted fire zones in the province.
When you see multiple municipalities institute those fire bans, they are taking caution within their own communities, and we could see the situation change in terms of provincial restrictions in the days to come.
Meanwhile, the Kenora area is currently under a special air quality statement due to a wildland fire located 12 kilometers north of Wawasimung Independent Nation. The 400-hectare fire was first confirmed on Thursday and received attacks from 4 water bombers during the afternoon.
So at the moment, we have 6 fire ranger crews and 3 helicopters assigned to Kenora 14. And those personnel are engaged in protecting structural values in the fire area with sprinkler systems, and as well as doing some helicopter bucketing when the water bombers aren't in the air. An additional 6 fire ranger crews are being mobilized and should arrive on scene today and tomorrow.
Marchand notes there's no imminent threat towards Wawasimung at this time. However, they do expect the fire to grow closer to the community over the next few days. He says fire management met with community leaders to brief them on fire operations. Marchand adds that air quality in the region will be affected as northwest winds push the smoke south.
The wildland fire hazard is high to extreme across most of the northwest region, more so on the western side along the Manitoba border. But we are urging residents to be extremely cautious with any sort of outdoor burning activity, or ideally to avoid such activities until such time as that hazard goes down or is moderated by some significant rainfall.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The measles outbreak in southern Ontario has now reached the northwest. The Thunder Bay District Health Unit is reporting its first lab-confirmed case of the respiratory virus. Since October, Ontario has recorded more than 1,400 new measles cases. The Thunder Bay area person acquired the infection through international travel and is now recovering at home. The health unit says they're following up directly with known contacts with a focus on those at higher risk. The positive case was on an Air Canada flight from Toronto to Thunder Bay on Sunday night and was then in the terminal building until 1 a.m. The health unit says the risk to the general public is low, but anybody on that flight is advised to check their vaccination records to ensure they're protected from measles and monitor for symptoms until May 25th. Pikangikum First Nation has declared a state of emergency due to the critical state of the community's water, sewage, and fire prevention infrastructure. The remote community north of Red Lake has also filed a motion in federal court seeking $200 million in emergency relief from Ottawa. Chief Patty Peters says there's no trust in that community that their tap water is safe to drink. Jonathan Wilson reports.
Pikangikum is one of the largest First Nations in the Northwest, with around 4,000 residents. For the past 25 years, successive chiefs and councils have been calling for federal assistance to provide basic water and wastewater infrastructure upgrades to the residents, as boil water advisories have been in effect for most of that time. Current Chief Patty Peters was not available for an interview, but in a media release, he says they met with Indigenous Services Canada officials in February, and he implored them to provide real, long-term solutions rather than temporary fixes. Since then, there's been little progress. As Peters says, the government makes repeated promises for improvements that never come. In March of last year, Pikangikum filed a statement of claim against Ottawa, seeking $1 billion for sewer and water infrastructure upgrades. That lawsuit was amended this past February to now seek $2 billion to also address the lack of fire hydrants and sprinkler systems in the community. Because of the slow pace of the courts, lawyers for Pikangikum filed a motion in federal court on Thursday demanding $200 million in emergency relief to be put into a trust now to address their water, sewage, and fire prevention needs that are, quote, on the brink of failure. The chief and counsel also declared a state of emergency, the fourth one since the year 2000. The feds issued a statement in response, saying everyone in Canada should have access to safe and clean drinking water. The Government of Canada respects the choice of First Nations, including Pikangikum, to seek the court's assistance on the important issue of safe drinking water. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
A 64-year-old man has been charged by Kenora OPP on numerous drug trafficking offenses after a major drug seizure in that community. The suspect was arrested on Tuesday by police investigators who executed a search warrant on a residence as well as a vehicle. The estimated street value of the cocaine, meth, oxycodone, and hydromorphone pills is $185,000. Police also found close to $6,000 in cash. The accused has been remanded into custody and was scheduled to make a court appearance earlier today in Kenora. The Quest Tech and Gaming event has returned to Fort William Gardens for another year. The free event happening today and tomorrow offers kids and other gamers a chance to check out virtual reality and traditional video games, along with displays highlighting science, technology, and engineering. Emma Chilton has the story.
Quest Tech and Gaming features hands-on experiences across the fields of science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. New to the event this year is a silent disco dance. Attendees can tune into the DJ's music with headphones and participate independently. Special events coordinator Karen Kadolf says this event always brings something new for the younger generation to enjoy.
It gets kids kind of thinking about science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, gives them different opportunities. And what's always neat about this one too is that they can look at these different things. They think that they're having fun, but they're learning while they're doing this. And so it's just a really fun opportunity. And it's also just something different to expose the entire community to these types of events as well.
Along with all the video games, there were other activities for participants to enjoy, from arts and crafts to beat making. One of the more popular events was BattleBots. We spoke to some of the kids about their highlight of the event.
What brought us here today is our school Woodcrest, and one of the favorite parts, I love just exploring all the different things and just seeing what there is to show off.
I also like that we did a lot of tech, gaming, all that fun stuff.
My favorite part was the face paint. Me too. It was really fun to do face paint, especially because we could match with our Spider-Man on the side of our faces.
There's like these blocks where you kind of like, they're like magnetic and you put them together and they're kind of like, and then they make like this little robot.
We did the silent disco and it was really fun and we danced. And then we just did the, what is it called?
Like that little spinny thing over there. My experience was pretty fun. I'm having a great time here, and it was just a great experience. And I like how like we got to do face paint and stuff, and like there's like face painters and like silent disco and stuff.
Like we like how much stuff there is in like all the varieties.
It is geared towards kids, but at the same time, it is all ages. So we do hear that seniors like tech, so there's lots of different opportunities. So Science North, as an example, has activities from probably toddlers up to anybody that wants to learn how to program a BattleBot. Anybody can participate. So it's not just kids, but it's also a really great opportunity if you wanted to come out, say as a grandparent, bring your grandkids. It's also a really fun time for everybody. So.
Quest Tech and Gaming will continue on Saturday from 12 to 6 p.m. The event is free of charge and open to all ages. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
A new partnership between the public library and age-friendly Thunder Bay has led to a series of events for seniors meant to help them build community connections. The first coffee chat with seniors was held yesterday at the Mary J.L. Black Library. The free gatherings will happen twice a month, inviting residents aged 50 and up to drop in. The location will rotate between the Mary J.L. Black and Waverly libraries. Those who attend can either have a coffee and chat or try out the various activities they have on site, including puzzles and coloring. Age-friendly Chair Donna Nagy says the new program will help support seniors who feel isolated. She adds the coffee chats are still in development stages and they're willing to hear feedback from residents.
This idea here is just to listen to what's top of mind for seniors. What do they what would they like to see here. There's puzzles, there's books, there's coloring, and it's just general chat. And just tell us what you want to do. Like, is there anything we can assist you with or give you information on?
We're very much learning as we go, and the participants today have been really gracious about offering some suggestions and telling us what they need and what they'd like to see. So it can only get better from here.
The next Seniors Coffee Chat will be on May 22nd at Waverly Library from 1 to 3 p.m. As the temperatures continue to rise in Thunder Bay, more people are flocking to local golf courses, or at least the ones that are open so far. Right now, 4 out of 9 golf courses around the city have opened for the season, while several others are waiting until after the May long weekend. Brendan Miller has more.
Golf season is here. A few courses around the city opened their fairways to golfers as early as a couple of weeks ago. Northern Lights was the first to open, specifically their par 3 course. Since then, the main course has opened, but they are still not allowing powered carts. Dennis Smith at Northern Lights spoke to us about why that decision was made and just how busy they've been being the first to open.
It's always made on how dry the course is. The course, it stays closed if we have frost in the ground because the water is no way to getting off the course. So once it dries up enough for walking only, carts will come out next Monday, I believe. We start off with the driving range. Then we move over to the par 3. It's higher ground and it allows for an earlier start. And then we go to the big course. So right now the big course is walking only. Been extremely busy. The driving range, today it's a little quieter, but it's normally wall to wall out here.
Meanwhile, at Strathcona Golf Course, frost and ice on the greens was rampant this spring, and that's why city officials have decided to keep Strathcona and Chapels closed until after the May long weekend. Whitewater is also staying closed until May 20th. The supervisor of golf services with the city, Pat Berezowski, believes it's a good idea to wait so the course could heal fully from the long winter.
And turf can only survive under ice conditions for so long. So all we can do at that point is hope for an early spring, and we didn't really get that. So now we're a little bit behind, but our crews have been out there and they're seeding greens, fertilizing. We've left the tarps on some of them that need a little extra work, and we're hopeful in the next 2 weeks that we're going to see a lot of improvement.
Berezowski said they hope to open Strathcona by May 21st or 22nd. In addition, they'll be celebrating the course's 100th anniversary later this summer. Brendan Miller, TBT News.
Well, I have to say, I haven't been out on the golf course yet, but my goodness, when I looked behind you today, Fiona, and saw what our high was, it's almost unbelievable. I need to get out on the golf course.
Well, considering the temperatures didn't reach a high of 27 until just in the last few minutes, you might not have wanted to be on a golf course today because most of the afternoon temperatures were hovering around 12, 13, although there was a fair amount of sunshine. But around 3 o'clock, we were at about 12 Celsius. And then in the next 3 hours, temperatures shot up 50 degrees to 27, and that's with winds fairly low or fairly light, 8 to just 15 kilometers per hour. If we take a look at what's going on across the region, it's a very narrow band of heat that has been moving through, and the cooler air is already settling in from the northwest. Red Lake at 15, then we hit 19 for Kenora and Fort Francis. We're up into the 20s in Armstrong and Greenstone. Nowhere else are they seeing 27 at this hour. In fact, the high for the day was around 22, but you can see the temperatures starting to give way again because through this narrow band of warm air that is moving through and affecting Thunder Bay so drastically in the last few hours, behind it is that cooler air. Along the North Shore, they're in single digits. Marathon at 9, 8 in Wawa, Sault Ste. Marie at 18 under mostly cloudy skies, but we've got lots of sunshine through this corridor. Here in the city of Thunder Bay tonight, there is a 30% chance of showers this evening, even a possibility of a thunderstorm, and it's because those temperatures and the warm air is rising so quickly, it hits the cooler air aloft and then you get a sudden brief shower. So it's not that there's a huge storm, it's just that warm air rising so fast. Overnight we will stay with a low of 4 And when we hit that, skies will clear out. As we head into the weekend, these up and down, topsy-turvy temperatures are going to continue, but so will the sunshine, at least for Saturday and then into Sunday. But as we head into a new week, things are going to level out. We're going to see more sunshine. We're going to see mild temperatures. In fact, I'll call them warm temperatures. So it's a possibility you might see a lot of people calling in sick on Monday or Tuesday.
Well, I'll have to be prepared. Thank you, Fiona.